Yo, people, what you telling me back again with another footy talk Friday evening special? What you telling me, bro? It's been a minute.
I know. You're right, mate. How you been?
I've been all right, bro. I've been all right, mate. You know what I mean? Your mate Mason Mount's injured again, by the way.
Oh, don't know. He's been missing for most of the season, so I'm not sure it's that much of a difference.
Bruv, oh my days. My head is so hot, blood. Oh my days. I can't believe you rated this guy, this absolute clown, bro. When I
Listen,
found out this
listen.
guy's injured again, bruv, like, I can't believe it.
The numbers were there. As were the performances. Maybe not so much now, but is what it is. I've got another geezer from Manchester called Cole Palmer, which I love. Just shame he looks like donkey, but outside of that, everything else is good. He's got the same magic. I mean, how many dragons do you know that shag donkeys? He's doing all right. Is what it is.
Yeah, bruv, I am fuming. Hey, this is such a post. Is this if this is a real Postacoglu, quote, it's unbelievable. This is exactly what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the amount of excuses that these men have been trying to make for Ten Hag, saying, "Oh, he ain't got his players, he ain't got his players," and that, bro. If you want to play a certain way, you just play a certain way. It's that simple.
Yeah, you do that. And then if you're an Ange Postecoglou, you win Team Manager of the Month awards, and it's so brave to play a high line and lose 4-1. So you get the moral victory. I'm sure that matters when it comes 3 points. Good
No,
job, Ange.
but it doesn't though. It's not about the moral victory. Yeah. It's about it is for me. It's about a statement of intent in it. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
It's just
well,
like
absolutely.
when you're in the ring, yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And there's people and they say, oh yeah, he quit on his stool and that. Nah, like even if you lose, there's ways to lose, innit?
Yeah,
And that's just how it is. You can quit on your stool, you can quit on your knee, or you can just get knocked out in it. Like I'd rather get knocked out than take a knee, bruv, and then man are saying, "Oh yeah, he gave up." Fuck all that.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? And this is
yeah.
what it is. There's ways. So it's not even a moral victory. Sometimes I just think that there's ways to lose in it, and it's just one of them things where I don't think there was anything wrong with what he done because it showed me that he was still trying to win the game, even against all odds. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, it's there's doing that, and it's just being stupid. Like you've got nine in his case against us. He had 9 men. He had Eric Dyer at centre back, and went, "Do you know what? I'm still going to play a high line rather than what every other manager's done that's beaten Chelsea this season." And has gone, "Do you know what? If we frustrate them and we sit in a low block and then
Mm.
use the set pieces, which by the way they had 2 very good opportunities with." He could have one got a draw or two. If I'm being honest, maybe could have even beaten us. But instead, it's like, nah, mate, we're
I
just
don't
going to
know.
play some
Nah,
really
if they
elaborate,
played
great football. Fuck off. Do me a
if they
favour.
played a low block, they couldn't have beaten you because it's basic math, innit? If they play a low block, it means they're further away, yeah, from your goal. And if they've got 2 less players, yeah, the amount of energy that it takes to transition from a low block to get into the other side of the pitch rather than starting on the halfway line. Like it's common sense, innit? Like it's basic maths. If they want to score goals, they need to be as high up the pitch as possible, innit? It didn't work. It didn't work. But if they sat back, there's no guarantee that they wouldn't have lost anyway. That's what I always say. At least they made the game exciting.
Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee, but there would have been probably less likelihood they would have lost that game.
Mm.
We as much as we won 4-1, and I'm sitting there going, brilliant, what a result we won. We did play poorly, and I was a bit like,
Yeah, you did.
we,
But
we,
that's
we,
what I'm
we got the
saying. So
result,
he
but
showed that, you know what? It's worth going at these lot because you might be able to get change out of them, innit? Like, bro, like, he didn't respect you. And I kind of respect that he didn't respect you because it's like, you're not the Chelsea of old. So
no, we're
he
not.
shouldn't have respected you.
No,
You
we're not.
know?
No, we're not. We'll have to see what happens. Look, it's been and done now. We got 3 points, they haven't, and now they're falling apart. It's business as usual, Tottenham Hotspur doing what they do best, crumbling like my nan's apple pie. You know, Give get get me some ambrosia custard, mate, because I'm about to pour on the pain. That's what it is. That's all it is with Spurs.
So
Same shit,
how you
different year.
feeling about Newcastle this week then? Because Newcastle have had I don't know, they've had a decent start to the season, but they've got quite a
Yeah,
few injuries, and you're going the other way, innit?
yeah.
You're getting players back now. I think
Well,
Nkuku and someone else
and
is
Kunku
back
and
for you.
Lavia aren't available. That was what they
They've
were
been
looking at.
training though.
They've been training, but they're not available. Wesley
Yeah.
Fofana came back, but I, to be honest, I don't care how much it is. I'd sell him in the summer. I'm not,
It's not his fault he got injured, even though
I
he was injury prone
I
before you
don't
bought him.
care. I'm not paying his fucking booper bill. Someone else can deal with that.
Fair.
It's like it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We're not going to get the same player. That's his third ACL injury. It's
Exactly,
like
but he's been injury prone even before you signed him. That's
yeah,
why putting up
I
the
know.
money that you put up was actually crazy.
Yeah, Joe, we were doing a show the day we signed him, and I said it was stupid. I was there like, this is ridiculous. Why are we even doing that? But it's done now. Just we'll see what happens with it. But bottom line for me is that as much as I'm fairly confident going up to Newcastle, at the same time, when they put out their C team, they still managed to get a result against you at the cup. So it's a difficult one. And on top of that as well, you're going to St James's Park, and as much as anybody can say what they like about it and whatever, and the atmospheres don't make a difference. People always bang on about Liverpool, like they've never been to St James's Park. If you go to St James's
Yeah,
Park and
St
they're on
James
it on that
Park's
day,
different, bro. Like, yes, it's different.
it's
It's
like
different. The
yeah,
atmosphere there is crazy. It's
yeah,
probably the best atmosphere that I've been to in this
oh yeah.
country. Like, if you
I
go
was
there and they're up for it, forget it.
I was there when was it Conte's last season when we finished in the Europa League places. Our last game of the season was there,
And they
and
weren't
obviously we
even good then,
lost.
and they're still so loud.
Yeah, their season was pretty much done. Ours was on the ropes. I think we had to win to beat you to Champions League places. I think it was,
Mm.
and no, it was Liverpool, and we lost 3-1. I want to say, but the place was just rocking. It's a great city. I love Newcastle. Going up there is fantastic. And to be fair, I say that I've not been since.
Yeah.
But I can thank Avanti train travel for that because I'm not paying 150 quid.
Yeah, that's crazy. How are you feeling about this game then? Because obviously you're in a decent run. You're in a decent run of form. Like, what do you think you're gonna do against these? Like, obviously they've got loads of injuries, but they're at home. So
Yeah, I mean, I look based on the last two games alone, I'm very confident.
yeah,
If you'd said to me, well, we mean you spoke because we covered the KSI
the
Toney
boxing.
Fury fight, and we were talking then, saying we looked at the fixture list, and I didn't think we'd pick up any points until we played Everton. I was looking at going, we ain't getting any points until December, and then we go into the fixture against Spurs. Obviously, they crumble, and then we do what we needed to do, and then City, I think, showed a real sense of character which I've not seen in a Chelsea team for a long time. There was a real grit, there was a real determination. I think, look, in terms of footballing weeks, I don't think I'm ever going to see much better in terms of just pure entertainment. Obviously, I'll see better in terms of Chelsea winning games. I'm not going to sit here and say a draw's a win like it was against City. Like that wasn't a win against City, but it felt like the beginning of all the foundations of something. So I'm fairly confident going up against Newcastle at the minute. I mean, they've got nobody in that team right now. Tonali's obviously out. Loves Bet365 too much. And then you've got.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon that AC knew about that when he sold him?
Listen, as an Italian man who knows how to do a little bit of business, they absolutely know about that. See. Grazie. I'll take your money. Thank you. So, yeah, it's simple.
Because I was thinking that, yeah, but obviously it's just like I don't know what the noise is coming out of Italy in terms of that. Obviously they're gonna deny it because they have to. But
it's I don't never trust someone from Milan. That's my advice. Never trust someone from Milan. If they came in and it was like, I mean, it's the fact that it's not just him, wasn't it? Florenzi the other day was having stuff going on. There's like 5 or 6 AC Milan players. There's a couple of Juve players. They just love it over there. They just love it. They love a flutter. It's I reckon, right? I could send my 13-year-old brother to play football in a square, right? And I could take bets on it, which team's going to win. It'd be great. I'll sit there, take little €1 bets, sit in the corner. Yeah, thank you.
The thing is that signing came out of nowhere. Like all of us were sitting here saying, "Yo, that's an amazing bit of business for Newcastle." Nobody knew he was for sale.
I mean, he was for sale. Everyone, like, Milan's like they're not. It's not AC Milan anymore, is it? You know, even if it's a case of you look at certain clubs, there's obviously the history and the quality there, but it's not. You know, Inzaghi. It's not Nesta. It's not Maldini. It's not Seedorf. You know, these aren't. It's not the same team anymore, and they're going to sell, and they basically are Chelsea's B team now. I mean, look at all the players we've sent to them. You know, it's a case of he was always going to be for sale. They need the money. There's literally no money in Italian football anymore. None. People talk about the quality of the league and how it's improving. I think, what was it, last January? I think it was Spezia spent the most in terms of transfers. And I think it was only about 5-6 million.
Yeah.
If that. There's literally no. So they player in that league is for sale unless you play for Napoli, because De Laurentiis is very difficult to deal with.
Yeah,
never trust Neapolitan. Never trust someone from Milan.
You can't do business with them guys. Like, a lot of people were talking about, Osherman to Chelsea and that, bro. You would have to pay like 150 million to get this guy, and even then,
well,
them guys are gonna fight you over it. It's not worth it.
Well, I think Osherman might actually be a different case because of all the stuff that's happened. It's not like it was with Koulibaly and other players. He's literally got one foot out the door already after how he's been treated, and De Laurentiis is going to sit there and he'll be like, he has to let him go now, otherwise it will just cause more of a fuss.
But he will let him go, but he'll let him go on his own terms. Has to let him go, and then there's not.
But he can't
money
anymore.
for him because they paid like what? They must have paid 80 million, 70 million for him anyway.
I think it was 70. Let me double check.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money for him. Like, he wasn't cheap. So they're gonna want upwards of 100 million for the guy. He's got.
They wanted 120. That's what I was reading.
Well, there you go.
But then again, you know, I'm not going to say no to that. I think also because I was reading earlier today that apparently we're not going to go for Ivan Toney in January now, because their whole thing they were saying was because he wants to move to Arsenal more than he wants to move to Chelsea. And apparently they're looking at going, if that's the case, then if he doesn't want to be here and we're a second choice, then we're not going to bother.
But Arsenal don't want him, though. Arsenal are not going to sign him. They pretty much come out and said they're not signing him. So,
I mean, after centre forward turn around and go, do you know what? I don't. Yeah, but if their centre forward turns around and goes, do you know what? I don't think goals is important. I'd be looking at that as an Arsenal fan and Mikel Arteta and go, sorry, what? Excuse me? It's like your goalkeeper wants to play Subway size every game. Your centre forward can't score goals, and they celebrate both of those things. And they've got a dog called Win when they haven't won anything. That club's a joke. Can you imagine saying that? It's like it makes no sense. This is like, his link-up play is great. Yeah, so is Didier Drogba's, but he was forward. The job of your striker is to score goals. That is the main prerogative. It's like when people talk about goalkeepers. And they go, oh, he's great at playing the ball out from the back. Yeah, but can he save it? He's not that great at that. Yeah. Well, the job title is goalkeeper. You keep the goal. And obviously, you need to be able to play out well. In addition to, not either or. Again, same with centre-backs. Look at the way he moves the ball. He's a great... Yeah, but he can't defend, mate. Like, there's certain players...
Victor Lindelof in a nutshell for Man United. And Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire, they're talking about, ball progression and all this crap. It's like, bro, these men can't defend. Like,
Harry Maguire, as we it fits, then he's fine. But it's when you're asked to do certain things, he just doesn't have the capabilities. He's been for this year, he's in, but been better. But
Harry Maguire is shit, bro. I don't think he's been better this year. It's just that the expectations of Harry Maguire is so low right now that if he just has a game where he doesn't score an own goal, people say that he's played well. Like the bar is on the floor. Let's not get it twisted. The guy is rubbish and he hasn't even had a decent game for us, bro. He hasn't. Like, I've never watched a game and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like, he's bossing this. Like, most of the time he's had nothing really much to do. Like, everyone's overstating like this resurgence of Harry Maguire. Like, it's not no resurgence, bro. Do you know what I mean? We're just shit. I'm not, and we're desperate.
Resurgence. I'm saying he improved. What? I'm not looking at him going, oh, what? I think he has his qualities in certain systems. Again, like if he plays for England, he kind of fits. Should he be going over some other players? In my opinion, no. But I understand why Gareth Southgate does what he does, apart from picking Jordan Henderson still and Calvin Phillips. Like, I think I've had more Premier League minutes than Calvin Phillips this year. You know, it's one of those where you just and you go, okay, it's, but
bro, even the England thing, yeah, Gareth Southgate plays a much deeper line. Do you know what I'm saying? So even when we talk about the England thing, it's like he's playing in a deep line where his lack of pace and lack of defensive positioning can't be exposed as much. He doesn't play better for England, yeah. He's just in a system that doesn't expose him as much. That's all it is. Like if Man United want to play progressive football, yeah, and want to play a high line, he can't play. We're even seeing that at Tottenham at the moment, yeah, with Eric Dyer. Postecoglou's pretty much phased this guy out of the team, and he's just like, literally, unless we have no one else, I'm not playing you. Like, because this is what it is. He doesn't suit modern football. Like, he looks good in relegation teams that park on the edge of their box and just head the ball away. Like, that's literally all he can do.
To West Ham would have been perfect for him. He would have been great for him because they're not a relegation team. They're a decent side now. But David Moyes doesn't play football. You'd have had James Ward-Prowse putting every single. It's one where
your Wi-Fi is jumping in and out, bro.
Shock horror! My Wi-Fi's fucking up again. Jesus Christ! Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. But yeah, the same. Yeah, it would have been a good move for him. But look, irrespective, you are where you are. I don't know what's happening. I can't see it happening because I don't think there's anyone out there that fits the bill right now. Mainly because when I say fits the bill, it's because the bill's not been made because Ratcliffe's not in yet. As soon as Ratcliffe gets in,
Ratcliffe's not in yet. But even the stuff right now is going on. Obviously, this manager's falling out with Varane, which is an absolute joke, yeah. And then the worst thing about the situation right now is that, like, somebody put out a list, yeah, on Twitter, and it's true, yeah. When you look at all the players, yeah, that this manager's phasing out, it's all the players on the highest wages, bro, and it's not a coincidence, bro. Do you know what I mean? It can't be a coincidence. As much as I would love to believe. I would absolutely love to believe that what happens in the dressing room, yeah, is not influenced by what's going on above and vice versa, yeah. Like, it seems extremely weird to me. Funny how Mason Mount's trending. I don't know why, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy to me, yeah, that when you look at, let me find the list now. I think it's Cristiano Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, Casemiro, David De Gea. Were United's 5 top earners before Rashford signed a new deal, and the manager's forcing all these guys out the club, like, by accident.
I don't know. Look, unfortunately, I feel like Manchester United is in such a state where you're going to have to go through this bit here of serious pain before the club can even come out the back end of it. And that'll mean sticking with the manager.
Yeah, but we have to get rid of him. I'll be real. Like, we have to get rid of him. Like, this manager is poor. Is absolutely poor. It's one of them things where he hasn't even shown us enough for us to stick with him. It doesn't make no sense because, like, we're saying that he can't handle big name players, but bro, he brought in Amrabat, he brought in Anthony, he brought in Mount. These are not big name players and they've all been crap. So as much as we want to talk about the manager can't handle anything. And the thing is, you have to be a special kind of dickhead to fall out with Rafael Varane, bro, because this guy's a mute, bro. He don't even talk. How can you fall out with Varane? Varane looks like the guy that's just friends with everyone, bro. He's so inoffensive, bro. Like, how can you fall out with Varane? Like, that's actually crazy. You know what I mean? There's some players that you can just tell, like, they just come to work, do their job, and go home, and he's one of them.
Yeah, I get that.
How do you fall out with a player like this? Like, you don't end up at Real Madrid, yeah, for the amount of time that he's at, yeah, if he's got 1, a bad attitude, 2, if, like, he doesn't get on well with people, 3, if he doesn't train well, and 4, if he's not a good player. You do not spend that much time, yeah, at Real Madrid. The same goes for Casemiro if you're not elite in mentality and also in ability. Like, these things are just, they just don't happen.
with you. We played quickly. With Varane, do you think it could also potentially be a case of we've mentioned all those things he's made, but we also need to remember that he's always injured. So it's a case of
Yeah, but I hear the injury thing, but bro, to be honest, yeah, even even injured, he's better than Harry Maguire and Evans and Lindelof. Like the injury things, I'm not really trying to hear because the thing is, even with Varane, yeah, as much as he got injured quite a bit last season, I think he still played a decent amount of games. Like started a decent amount of games as well. Like we've had Luke Shaw, yeah, who's been injured every single season, yeah, that he's been at Manchester United since we started him. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's still here, and he's still getting new deals, and he's still getting talked up. Like his prime is to come, and he's been past his best for a long, long time. So the whole injury stuff is actually mythical.
fair enough. I mean, what I was thinking was it was more of a case of maybe trying to wrap him in cotton wool. So when the rest of you got Luke Shaw coming back, you have him available.
Brother,
Maybe it's a case of he's trying to bring them all together.
Wrap him in cotton wool for what? Like it's not like he's resting him against Luton and that. The guy didn't start him in the Manchester derby. He started Evans Maguire in the Manchester derby, bro. Like that's crazy to me. Like that's suicide.
Yeah, I get that. That's fair enough. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I was just trying to play devil's advocate. I just think you lot are a mess, even to the point where the stadium itself.
Yeah.
Or was it in the women's game a couple of days ago?
Yeah, they said that something fell off the ceiling, off the roof or something.
Part of the stadium fell onto two people. Like that is bad. Like the stadium is falling apart. Like there are so many issues at Manchester United right now beyond the football. Like we were in a bad way last year. Like we were in a terrible way last year because we had no structure. Manchester United have no physical structure and no commercial structure and no football structure.
But bro, I think we do have the commercial structure. But bro, when we talk about the stadium and that, bro, our stadium's falling apart and it's still better than yours. You got 40,000. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
mate, I'd rather have 40,000 a solid foundation than 60 or 70,000
wouldn't.
fall apart.
No, you wouldn't, because you can only sell 40,000, bro. Like
our
capacity is nearly double yours, isn't it? So
no,
it's one of them ones where I'll be real, yeah. As much as our stadium's trash, it's better than yours, isn't it? So
no,
it's one of them things where what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm not using that as an excuse. It's about what's happening on the pitch, because we're both playing in shit stadiums, but you won the Champions League a lot more recently than we did in your 40,000 seat or Legoland stadium, bro. So if you lot can do that there, I'm not trying to hear the structural stuff as an excuse as to why my manager can't manage players and why we can't win games convincingly. Why we can't play a cohesive.
It's from the top down, mate. Everything comes from the top down. Any business, if the top of the business isn't working, the bottom of the business ain't going to work. That's just a fact. That's not just football. That's just everything. You know, if the senior figures at the club or in the company don't know what the hell they're doing, and it's not working, that is going to trickle down to everybody else. So the whole situation at Man United, just there is so much going on. Obviously, you've got Ratcliffe trying to take 25%. As soon as that's done, we'll see what happens. But you have Ratcliffe come in. You've got obviously the Glazers might be selling a portion of the club. You've got the stadium does need to be fixed, like it does, because you talk about the commercial stuff being put together. If the stadium's falling apart, people are going to stop coming, which means the commercial side of things.
I don't think they will stop coming because they're idiots. That's part of the problem. If they did stop coming to games and they started boycotting and walking out and stuff like that, I might actually have more faith in this club actually doing something. The problem is the fans are so blind with their loyalty that they're still gonna turn up, bro, even though the place is an absolute dump. Like they're still gonna turn up.
That's probably the one side of the commercial thing with Man United is one person empties the seat, someone else is going to take it.
Yeah.
So I think there is so much going on that I wouldn't even know where to start. Now I see this guy talking about Sir Alex, worked on the same owners. Football's moved on in the past 10 years. This football is not the same.
But as much as it's moved on, Like, as much as people can talk about owners, if you've got a good manager, yeah, and they have been given money by these owners, yeah, they're gonna win stuff, bro. Like they are gonna win stuff. This idiot's won stuff, yeah, with the players that he inherited from the previous manager. Jose won stuff. Van Gaal won a trophy also. Like Moyes was our only full-time manager to not win a trophy, and also no, and Solskjaer, but Moyes won the Community Shield. They count that. I don't count that.
No,
Solskjaer got to a European final and lost on penalties. So trophies can be won under this owner. Like I'm not just simply gonna put it down to oh yeah, but things aren't run upstairs and that. Yeah, whatever, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Klopp don't get the players he wants most of the time. Man still wins trophies, bro, because he's a good coach, innit? Like a lot
but
of
then
our
he had the
problem.
structure around him. He had a good director of football.
Yeah, but the
He had
structure,
someone
even the
good to work
structure at
with.
Liverpool is iffy, bro. Like, so a lot of Liverpool fans don't like their owners and they don't like the structure at their club, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't, innit? And
I
then
get that.
Klopp will come out and say that, yo, I don't get the players I want. We need this, we need that, whatever. These man had players like Oxlade Chamberlain and that there for ages. Klopp had to play Milner till he was like 38 or something like that because they wouldn't give him a replacement. So Klopp weren't getting everything he wanted as well, bro. Like Milner and Henderson were getting rinsed at Liverpool. Like there was a point where I remember Liverpool had injuries. They were playing two midfielders at centre back. They were playing Fabinho and someone else at centre back. He wasn't allowed to go into the loan market like Ten Hag's been allowed to and go and get a left back because Luke Shaw and Malacia were out. Like, bro, like Klopp was not getting. He wasn't getting the backing that this manager has got, bro. He wasn't.
No,
Like
it's
I'm
fair.
not gonna. I'm so as much as Liverpool are our rivals, yeah, bro. Like Klopp's had worse conditions than Ten Hag. Klopp's had to sell to buy. Man United don't have to sell to buy. We've never had to sell to buy. Like Man United's conditions are not that bad, bro. They're not that
No,
bad
but
in
then
comparison
if
to
you
a
look
lot of
at
our rivals. They're not.
no, but again, if you again with Liverpool, they had the good director of football. The payment structure was fairer, I'd say. Players weren't on astronomical wages,
Yeah.
which meant the egos were smaller, which meant it was a more unified dressing room. Again, we had. Look, I say that because we had the same problem. That's why the club Chelsea moved on so many people on high wages
Mm.
because it was they've had people on small players on smaller wages, younger players that will develop and eventually earn that right. But unfortunately, United. That's why I talk about the commercial side of things as well. There's
Mm.
there's literally there's a case there where you've got just a mess from the top down. Everything is messed up completely. The quality of player doesn't match the money that's been paid for him,
Not at all.
and then it's that all of a sudden there's this mess. Like I think what you guys have going on at United is what we had for the last 3-4 years under Roman, where we go and sign a player, put them on astronomical wages, and their quality didn't match the value of wages or the value of transfer fee, but
Mm.
then their ego thought it did. So then all of a sudden there's this mess everywhere. Bang, 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 bang. Everything is going wrong, and then so I'm not saying Ten Hag's not an issue. I'm saying there are certain things he's doing very wrong, which he shouldn't be doing. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's a perfect manager because he ain't. I don't think there. I don't. There's two managers which I think. Well, three. No, you know what? No, there's only one manager I would consider perfect at everything they do, and that is Carlo Ancelotti in current football. It's
Mm.
only one. I wouldn't even say Pep's perfect,
Yeah.
but I think with that you have to. There's this look. It's a mess. There's so many moving parts which just aren't working.
There are so
And
many moving parts, but what I don't like is people using those as an excuse for basic things that we're not getting right on the pitch, that we're clearly not getting right in training. The man management situation where it's very clear that this manager doesn't know how to not only get the best out of players, but even talk to them.
okay, so
That's
what's
basic. That's
what's
basic
your
management.
solution? What's your solution?
Sack the idiot.
Okay, but who comes in? What's the solution?
I don't care who comes in, bro. It's not my job.
I know it's not your job, but then at the same time, if you just sack someone, you need to have a
It's not
step
my job, mate.
afterwards.
Do you know what I mean? It's not my
Okay,
job.
but if it was your job, what would you be doing? What are your next steps?
What are my next steps?
You
No,
are
we bring in Ratcliffe first. Do you
okay.
know what I'm saying? We bring in Ratcliffe, and then when Ratcliffe comes in, When the new CEO comes in, when the new director of football comes in, then they choose a new manager. That's their job. That's their job. That's not my job. Do you know what I mean? Because I might want a manager, and to be honest, they might know better than me. The DOF might say, you know what? We want to play this style of football. This manager's perfect for it. I know the players that I can get for him to incorporate, and these players, maybe they'll be less expensive, maybe they'll be hungry because they're not quite at their best. Maybe we're gonna take a different approach and we're not gonna sign ready-made players, and we're gonna play players that are going to peak at the club. I don't know what their direction is. The one thing I do know is, the direction this club's going in is not the right one. And it hasn't been a right one. And I also know that our best players, like the Sanchos, the Varans, the Casemiros, these guys are not the problem. They're not the problem.
But then have you not had this problem under every single manager?
No, but not really though.
But then, like, okay, Solskjaer, the player power is an issue. Okay, so if that's the case,
There's player power at every big football club, bro.
Yeah, there is, but then not to the same extent there was at Chelsea and United.
No.
Hence why Chelsea nipped it in the bud. The club.
I don't agree. I don't agree. When you've got elite players at clubs, there's player power. There's player power. It's just like if you're at Real Madrid, you can't tell me there's not player power. Like Ramos can go straight to Perez and say, "Yo, my guy, this is mad." Like they can do that. Like when you're a big enough player. Like, don't think CR7 couldn't go straight to Perez. Like, he could. Like, when you're a big player, you've got power, whether you like it or not. And the bigger the clubs are, the bigger the players are, the more player power there seems to be. Maybe there's not player power at Brighton, but that's because it's Brighton. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you're at Chelsea, you're trying to tell me when they had the Lampards, the Terrys, the Drogbas, of course there's player power. These are big players.
No, but but the difference is between you mentioned Ramos, you mentioned Ronaldo, Drogba, Terry, Lampard, whatever, right? At United, your old United, you even had Scholes and stuff. Go speak to Fergie or whatever. But now it's player power with Victor Lindelof.
I understand now. Lindelof ain't got no power. Lindelof ain't got no power. But what I'm saying is, well, you got to understand, in the modern game, the players aren't good enough, but they've still got the egos the same size, innit?
Yeah.
So they're not as good as your John Terrys and all that, but Luke Shaw will think that he's John Terry at Man United because he's been at Man United for nearly 10 years. Yeah. He might have been at Man United for 10 years. So he might have the same authority as what John Terry had back in the day for the simple fact he's been there for a decade, bro. Do you know what I mean? And also, the general level's lower now. So these guys have influence whether we like it or not. They do. And at every big club, when guys are on a lot of money, if you're on 250 grand a week, you've got influence. Of course you have.
Yeah.
Of course you have.
But then it's that. But then therein lies the problem with how does that get dealt with? How is that conversation had? If it's just a mess and it'll be the same shit over and over and over and over and over.
You get a DOF in, like you said, to sign the right players, but also you need somebody. You need an authoritative figure that's in between the manager and the owners here that can also pattern players up, bro. It's important. It's super important because the problem is we got players like Rashford, 25 or 26 now. He's on 300 and something grand a week now. Should never be on that much money because his ability does not dictate that. Luke Shaw's on about 190, maybe slightly more because he signed a new deal. You got Harry Maguire that's on similar money to that. Like, how have you got someone as shit as Harry Maguire on that money? That's crazy to me.
Therein lies the issue. Therein lies the issue.
The money's a problem, and also, who's given power is an issue because at the end of the day, it's the manager's job, to create a hierarchy in the dressing room in certain instances. The fact that players like Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes are allowed to run around, and kind of dictate certain things, is a problem because they're not good footballers.
No.
They're not good footballers. A manager's supposed to come in and say, yo, these are my senior guys, These are my senior guys. You get me? And that's it. These guys are in charge. You got these little bums, bro. They think they're big time, bro. What have they done? What have they done in the game?
Yeah.
What have you done in the game, bro? Like, this is the first time in my life, Like, growing up, Man United's players used to we used to be riddled with international players, international captains and that. I'm looking at these Man United players. None of them are good enough to play for their country, most of them. It's crazy. Like, what is this? These men are rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Bruv, man were booing Harry Maguire because he was playing for England. Because he wasn't playing for Man United. Luke Shaw's been displaced by Ashley Young, Brandon Williams. I've seen this guy get dropped so many times and he keeps getting new contracts, bro. It's crazy. Scott McTominay is getting played centre-back for flipping Scotland because he's so shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, bro, it's crazy. And these men are starting for Man United. The man starting for United is crazy, bro. Like Mason Mount, I don't know, bro. Like, that bro can't play for England. Play where? Instead of who?
He doesn't get in the team. Doesn't get in the team now.
Bruv, he don't get in the squad.
I'll to be honest, like if he was at Chelsea, if he was at Chelsea now, he wouldn't get in the team. He wouldn't get in the team at Chelsea. I don't think he gets anywhere near the team. If I look at what we've got right now, he doesn't
get into the England squad, bro.
Probably just
get into the squad, and we spent 65 million on a guy that don't get in the squad.
Thank you.
Bro, it's crazy.
This is what I mean.
Bro, he don't get in the squad.
Therein lies the issue. Therein lies the issue. I've just realised as well, my laptop's about to die, so I need to plug it in. But anyway, therein lies the issue with Man United. It's a mess. Everything about it is an absolute mess.
It is, 100%. And this guy's saying, Luke Shaw's the least of our problems. I don't agree, bruv. You know what I mean? I don't agree. Luke Shaw, is like, bro, he's one of them guys, It's that silent killer, innit? Asbestos thing, you get me? Man have to deal with that. Luke Shaw's been at the club for 10 years. You can't say that he's not, bruv. He's not part of the problem. He's part of the problem. Because the fact that someone so dead can exist for 10 years, bro, the guy is a virus, bruv. That's what he is. He's a virus. Them things just, bruv, it's mad. You can't say that he's not part of the problem. Like, he's literally symbolic of what the problem is. Because you can be a below average player, at the club, be on big money, have loads of authority, hardly play, bruv. Hardly play. And you're still here. He's a big problem. So is Bruno Fernandes. Big problem. Captain. Diver. Cheater. Chats bare shit. Never backs it up in the big games. Like, these guys are massive, massive issues at the club. People don't want to talk about it because they're like, but what about this player? What about that player? I'd rather not have these guys, even in the squad. I'd rather not have them around these players, bro. I would rather not have them there, bruv, because it's what they symbolize. How you got your captain, is probably, your worst player in all the big games. Running around, moaning to the referee, diving, cheating and that. Bro, man can't respect that. It's crazy. Every single game, this guy's crying, bro, rolling around and that.
You mentioned Bruno Fernandes there.
Yeah.
When people were saying Roy Keane was going, he shouldn't be captain.
Yeah.
And people are outraged that he said that. I'm like, well, he's not wrong. But I don't look at Bruno Fernandes and think, he's captain material.
I've been saying it for years, but the fact that he can be Man United captain again, it shows the level the club are really at. So that's why I say Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford, and Bruno Fernandes are the three biggest problems at the club. People say, no, but no, they are. Because Rashford gets away with absolute mediocrity most of the time. He's not held to the same standards as everyone else because he's a homegrown player. He's on massive money. He doesn't perform very often. And he's another one that's been at the club for like 9 years or something like that. And he's averaged like 7 goals a season or something like that. It's crazy. 7-8 goals a season.
Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, he's meant to be. The geezer's meant to be, one of the senior players, bro. And his average performance is horrible, bro. It's horrible. Luke Shaw, bruv. He's been at the club for nearly 10 years and the Bray's got something like 20 assists, bro. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, what are you doing?
With Rashford, he's, like I said, he's not held to the same standard as homegrown. And also he does this thing where 2 months in a year he'll turn up, and then that'll be enough for the season.
Yeah,
That'll
but
be
it
the
shouldn't
issue.
be Louis. This is my problem, yeah? The
No, I
brother's
agree
got
with you, it
one
shouldn't
goal
be.
and it's nearly Christmas, bro. He's got one goal in the league and he starts every game. It's not one of them ones where, bro, listen, he starts every game. Like, it's not one of them ones where he's coming off the bench and his stats kind of are misleading because he doesn't play many minutes. When you look at minutes played, he's probably played the most minutes, yeah, for Manchester United in the whole squad.
Yeah, no,
Since he started.
Therein lies the issue. There's
This
a
is
lot.
why I say he's a
I mean,
problem.
but we're saying the same thing now. It's the power of the wrong.
Your Wi-Fi was fine and now it's doing a mad thing again. It was actually fine, bro, until you got up and moved.
Oh no, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Right, cool, it's back. Yeah, it's back.
Yeah.
It's back. But bro,
Mate,
like,
honestly,
this thing, if Shaw was Italian, it would be Matteo Darmian, bro. That's who he would be. And Darmian wasn't even that bad, bro. And it's one of them ones where, because Luke Shaw's English, again, yeah, that's why I say these men are massive problems, bro. Because people look at the issues, people look at the problems in the team and they say, oh, you know what? It's the Antonys and, do you know what I mean? It's these players. No, it's not. The real problems, yeah? The real problems are the guys that are supposed to be setting the standards at the club. The guys like Luke Shaw and Rashford that are the English ones that have been there for so long. I'd add Maguire to that because he's rubbish here and he's got the ego of someone that's actually good at football and he's awful. But Bruno Fernandes being captain, these are the things that's holding the club back. It's not the Casemiros, it's not the Varans, it's not the Sanchos, it's not them, bro. It's the players, yeah, that are escaping criticism all the time. These are the ones that are the real problem. That people aren't actually, they're not seeing it. Like the Wan-Bissaka's not a problem. Do you know what I mean? As much as he's not that good, yeah, it's like Wan-Bissaka just keeps his head down, plays football, and he just gives it 100%. And you know what? His limitations are not his fault, innit? Like, he's just not an issue. Like, he can be a squad player. He's happy to be a squad player. When he's not playing, he's not going to complain. He's just there. Do you know what I'm saying? But people like Shaw, crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Not only is his performances, yeah, low for a lot of the time, but bro, the guy don't keep himself in shape either, bro. His attitude's questionable. He gets away with murder. I don't know a Man United player that could just be turning up out of shape, doing all these other things. Jose was like, yo, this guy's an idiot. Took him out the team. New manager comes in, he's back in the team. Fresh start. It's almost like someone upstairs is just giving this guy new contracts and just, like, he has to play, bro. Like, man is saying he's here for the English quota. This is crazy. Get a left back from the youth team then.
Yeah, I mean, he's paid his value, hasn't he, now? He's been there 10 years, 3 million a year in terms of, transfer fee.
Yeah, I know, but people forget, Louis, that he was a £30 million player when 30 million was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, he was meant to be, like, he come from Southampton. Like, some place that produced Gareth Bale, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And Theo Walcott and that. Like, he had the same hype. 30 million left back. He was meant to be England's left back, for the next 10 years.
I think he would have been. He could have been. But then I think we have to remember that also there was that massive ACL injury, wasn't there?
No,
was it
PSV?
PSV? Was it ankle, whatever it was?
Broke his leg or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But, bro, that was like 6 years ago or something. Or maybe.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like, bro,
and that's when you pack it in.
Burger King happened, bruv. Like, that's what happened.
Yeah, but that's where you pack it in. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm looking at Wesley Fofana and I'm going, no.
Well, there you go. And look at Fofana. Fofana's young, and he's got mad ability. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got mad ability, but he can't stay fit.
He's had
so
3
you're
ACLs.
saying get rid of him.
3.
Exactly. Like, so you're right to say get rid of him, because at the end of the day, yeah, football, yeah, is what are you doing for me now job. That's what it's about. Like, and that's why I even said, with a lot of players, whether you're good or not, who cares, bro? Availability is the best ability. If he can't stay fit for Fana, yeah, then you get rid of him. You don't keep him because you believe that, there's a player in there, yeah, especially when they're that easily replaceable. It's not hard to replace a left back, bro. It's not hard to replace a centre back. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's not hard to replace them, but it's hard to replace them with quality.
That's really the issue. But they're not massive quality. Like, Fofana's not amazing.
No, I know, but I mean, obviously the final was bought because of the potential. That was the big
I
thing.
understand that, but
But
what I'm saying
that's
is
why
he's
they spent
not
the money.
irreplaceable, bro. Like just like
No,
Luke
he's not
Shaw's not
irreplaceable. But then
irreplaceable.
in terms of sheer upfront quality,
Yeah.
right now, in football in general, I just don't think there's as many players you can look at and go him straight away. There's
Bro,
not many.
listen, Tottenham went, and got Van der Ven, who is now one of the best centre backs in the league. Like, they just went and got him unopposed. So
Yeah.
people can't tell me there's not centre backs out there because I didn't know nothing about him, but it's not my job to know anything about him. I'm not a football scout. Do you know what I'm
No,
saying? But the
that's like,
fact
no, but,
is,
yeah, but
they've gone
what I'm saying
and
is
they've
in
got him,
terms
and
of
they also went and got what's his name? They went and got the winger as well. I think from Nottingham Forest as well. And it's
Brennan
like,
Johnson.
yeah, unopposed as well. So it's not like there's not quality players out anywhere that you can go get players and they can do a job. And neither of them two in the finished article, they are going to improve. So no
Yeah.
one can tell me that in the last 10 years, Man United couldn't have gone and got a left back from somewhere. No one can tell me that Chelsea can't just go out there and get another centre back. Like, of course you can, bro.
No, we can, but it's just a case of who you get. And to be honest, I don't know if we need another one right now. I think that's where I'm kind of looking at going. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, like, there are all players out there. Like I said, we don't know them, but in terms of like when you're looking for direct quality straight away, those names are already settled names within football. Those names you want to be looking at and plucking out. And in terms of that, and you go top quality, readily available, I just don't think there's many.
Yeah, but
I
bro, we're
really
talking
don't.
about, but you're saying top quality. You don't need to be top quality. Football is a squad game, bro. I wouldn't say Luke Shaw's top quality, bro. So finding a left back to replace him is not, it's not going to be hard. Like even Reguilon, like bro, Reguilon's playing well for us at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones, and he's not top quality.
No,
Do you
he's
know what I mean?
bang
He
average.
just runs forward. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not amazing. Like, it's not amazing stuff. 241 appearances, 17 assists. And he's a left back. So you can bet that them 241 appearances were probably 99% of them are from the start.
With that though as well, isn't he? He's been when you shoved him in at centre half, he's been all right, has he not?
Yeah, but see, I like him as a centre half. But the problem is, he's not played exclusively as a centre half. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the thing. I like him at centre half, but the reason why I like him at centre half is because he doesn't flipping run, Louis, and he's a left back. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the problem that we have here. This is the problem that we have here. He's a fullback that doesn't overlap. So I prefer him at centre back because he doesn't have to run. Like, this is the problem we have here. I would use him solely as a left centre back.
I reckon, right? If I was Ten Hag right now, and I'm looking at the system and I'm looking at what I have available, because like you said, if you're a good manager, you adapt. You know, you play with what you have, which is why when Ange Postecoglou's, I listen. Ange Postecoglou's flavour of the month, much like Brighton, by the way, a team which has not won a game in the Premier League in 2 months, but everyone bangs on about how great they are, how great Roberto De Zerbi is. He'll get the Real Madrid job. If Roberto De Zerbi went to Real Madrid, he'd be gone in 3 months. But that's because if Ange Postecoglou bangs on about because he calls everyone mate and he's Australian, everyone loves him. But realistically, you have to work with what you have. If I'm Eric Ten Hag or I get the hot seat at Man United right now, first thing I'd do, I think defensively you're resilient, but you don't score enough goals. So that's obviously the first thing you need to look at in January.
We conceded like 10 in our last 4 games or something like that.
Have you? Every time I look, you've really been like winning 1-0. It's been awful. You've been playing all right.
Last 4 losses. Sorry, in our last 4 losses, bro, we've lost like 10 from 17, bro, and we've conceded 3 or 4 like multiple times this season, bro. Like, don't get gassed, bro. Like, honestly, like, don't get pulled away by this Man United form team in the last 5 games.
I'm looking solely in the Premier League.
Yeah, we played Fulham, Brentford, Sheffield United, and I don't know, a few Brighton.
Right.
Some dead teams.
Apologies. You're right. So let's bring that back then. Okay. Apologies.
Go again, mate.
So you've not been defensively resilient. So the first thing you do is you switch to a back 3, because then you get the best out of the players that you have. Right. So for a start, if I'm Ten Hag, or I'm not Ten Hag, I'll tell Andre Onana, you're great with your feet, mate, but start using your fucking arms. And then but I'd switch to a back three with what I have available. I'd go Varane, Maguire, and Shaw as a three. That's what I'd do anyway.
It could work. I just
I
wouldn't play
think.
Maguire because he's shy.
I think. Who's the other option? Who's not fit? I mean, because obviously you've got. I'm talking.
You can play
Martinez isn't
Lindelof.
available, is he?
You can play Lindelof. To be honest, Lindelof's better in the back three anyway. He's better on the ball. However, like it is what it is. You could play Maguire, Varane, and Shaw. You could.
Yeah.
It could
To
work.
be honest, until Lindelof scored before the international break, I actually forgot he existed. So I was there a bit like,
He's awful though. He's
yeah.
awful.
Well, you go. But I mean, for me, it's like, I think, like I said, Luke Shaw as a centre half, decent. I think Harry Maguire in a back three is fantastic. Because it gives him that defense. It gives him the support he needs.
No, that's correct.
So I think you can then allow him to bring what he brings best. So that's why I'd say that. I think Varane obviously is a fantastic centre half. He's got a proven track record. Left wing back, you got what? Probably it'll be Reguilon.
Yeah, you got Reggie and you got Lindelof that could play right. I mean, not Lindelof, Dallo that can play right wing back. But then the problem goes: do you play two up top, which you could, and play Martial and Lindelof? I mean, not Lindelof. Why is Lindelof? I'm reading the chat at the same time. Martial and Højlund. But then you could play. Yeah, you could play a three in the middle and play two up front. Yes, and then rely on the fullbacks for width, which you might as well, because let's face it, our wingers don't cross anyway. So what's the point in playing wingers? Exactly. What is the actual point in playing wingers when we don't cross the ball anyway? It could work. Do you know what I'm saying? It could work. Do you know what I mean? And we could play a midfield three. If everyone's fit, then we could play Amrabat, Casemiro, and someone else.
You probably play Amrabat, Casemiro, and it would be Fernandes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that's what you play, and then you play. I mean, again, Anthony Martial. It's another player who's on ridiculous wages who can't stay fit. You know, it's like
Martial's been fit all season though. That's the crazy thing. He's been fit.
He's actually kept fit, has he? But he's not played.
He's been fit all season, but the manager's not playing him because Højlund has been fit, but now Højlund's injured. This is what I'm saying. This he's been doing mad things. Louis, you don't understand. We're playing Hannibal, yeah, and Garnacho and that, bro. Like, our players have been available. Martial hasn't been injured. He's been fit. He just hasn't played at all. This is the thing. Like, Sancho's fit and training with the under-18s. Anthony has been to Brazil. Like, do you know what I mean? Been in police custody, come back, and then he's been on the bench. Mount's been injured, then came back and has been on the bench, and now he's injured again. Yeah. Like, it's a mess, bro. It's a mess.
I mean, there's so much going on. Ben Højlund's another one, right? He looks great in the Champions League, but numbers aren't backing up in the Premier League, are they?
No, they're not.
But then everyone's saying Nico Jackson's a mess and he isn't doing anything, but he's scoring goals and Højlund.
Exactly.
It's like, this is what I mean. This is why whenever people say certain things, you look at certain things. You know, I'll use Brighton as an example. Brighton, they're amazing. They're such a well-run club. Oh, look at them. No, they're great at getting transfer fees from someone who, again, I always use this example with you, right? We've gone from a very stable, great relationship, right? It's the Joe Rogan quote. You're in a very strong, committed, stable relationship. You then split up, and now you're snorting cocaine off a hooker's tits in the back of Chevrolet, listening to Motley Crue. That's exactly what's happened there. We've got some crazy, like, American who's kind of just sort of going for it, and he'll go to Brighton, go to his crazy ex every single time. He'll then use him, get a ridiculous fee, and then say he's crap in bed to everybody. AKA Moises Caicedo. Oh, well, he could have gone to Liverpool with a club of culture, but, to Chelsea instead. Ooh. It's like the whole thing was like, Brighton again, the example of when the flavour of the month that everyone looks amazing.
I completely agree with you that PR has been amazing for Brighton. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it has, but then also to be balanced, Brighton have lost Caicedo and McAllister.
Yeah, so, they did that last year. They've done that for years.
I understand, but it's not sustainable how they run. Like, no matter how good a coach you are, if you're at Brighton, that every time a player of yours has a breakout season, they're getting sold, innit? Like, That's not good for continuity. So as much as I understand that the Zerbi is and Trossard as well is a bit of a bit of a hipster. Colwell's gonna also, bro. They've lost quite a few, man.
Cole, no.
He was on
Cole
loan.
never went. Cole was never their player. Everyone seems to love saying like this. Brighton fans last in the summer were so about, oh, Cole was going to come back. Cole, oh, he's our player. You never had him. You had him on loan.
But it doesn't
Stay in
matter.
your
He was
lane.
still in the team. Just like last season, yeah, we had Sabitzer on loan and we had Weghorst on loan. Like, while they were there, they were our players, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
Mate, yeah. I mean, look,
It is what it is. You can't say that they never had him. They had him, yeah, for long enough to qualify for Europe.
Well, you know, it is what it is. You know, Conor Gallagher was on loan at Crystal Palace. I don't hear them. You know, he won their player of the season.
I hear that, but he's one player. Like, bro, when I've mentioned like 4 players that they had last season that they don't have in it. So
it's true.
It's a bit
but then,
different,
yeah, Brighton. The other thing, I think, the other reason I don't like Brighton is they're talking like they're a massive club when they've had one good season.
Yeah, no, that I agree with, but I think the gas is over. I think the gas is a bit too much for Brighton, but I do sympathise with their manager, bro. Do you know what I mean? Not having these players, because these are quality players. Obviously, I don't know. I know you don't like the Zerbi anyway, but I'm just saying.
He looks like a geezer who runs a vape shop, and he needs to sort out his hairline. Geezer's there. Look at me with my spiky hair. He looks like every single bloke in the village that sells Fred Perry's he stole off the back of a van. And I say that from experience. He runs the vape shop in the local village. He has a dog called Terry. He's going to tell you, I like it in 9:30. It's good, isn't it? Look, he's great. Shut up, the Zerbi. Go have your blue raspberry and fuck off. Shut up.
I hear you. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's still valid. Do you know what I'm saying? It's still valid, though.
Man's hiding his hairline. I see that receipt. I see the bald crown. I see it, Roberto. Shut up.
It's still valid, though, bro. It's still valid. So as much as I get it, he wasn't their player, but they still lost loads of players. And like you said, there's not loads of top quality here. You can't replace players of that ilk consistently season after season. It's impossible. There's going to be a drop-off. Same thing happened with Southampton.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with them. You can't keep replacing Virgil van Dijk's and Sadio Mane's. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't keep replacing those players. Sooner or later, what's going to happen is, like, they lost Schneiderlin and what's his name to Tottenham, Wanyama. Like, bro, like, you can't keep losing players of this quality.
The whole team went, didn't it?
Yeah, the whole team went. Do you know what I mean? Like,
apart from the keeper, I think the keeper was the only one. I know, the keeper was Gazzaniga, wasn't it? And he went to Spurs.
Yeah, they lost everyone, bro. They lost everyone.
Pablo Osvaldo went back to Argentina, started making music.
Everyone left, bro. Even Jay Rodriguez, bro. Like, they lost everyone, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you can't do it. They had Lallana. They had Nathaniel Klein at right back.
That was a good team. You had Gazzaniga in goal, Luke Shaw left back, Fonte and Virgil van Dijk at centre half, Klein at right back, Wanyama, Schneiderlin, Mane, Pella, Lallana, Rodriguez.
Pella was crazy. You know,
Tadic.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. They lost all of them. They're all gone. And then these men are just doing up relegation, fam. You got to understand, yeah, no matter how good a manager you are, because I don't think, yeah, that I don't think Southampton, they lose their managers too. You know, like that. So it's like, really, when you look at Southampton, as much as everyone said, cool, look at how great run club they are, it's not sustainable. So it doesn't mean that Brighton aren't a well-run club, but the facts are it's not sustainable to keep replacing your whole 11 with another 11 and your manager. Like that I would argue that it's not a well-run club, because it's like there's no sustainability in that.
But this is when they lose the manager, right? I had a massive argument with an Italian. I was back home, so I went to Gusta. Do you remember that lad I told you about, who I had a 3-hour argument with about Sarri in lockdown? So we had another one about De Zerbi, right? About how De Zerbi plays beautiful football and it's fantastic, and he's a fantastic coach because of it, right? Roberto De Zerbi is not an elite coach. He's not, purely because you ask him to step up, right? He wants it. He needs to prove he can. Someone like who he should be the next City manager. Look at him for the Real Madrid job.
Yeah, City's
If he
way
went
too
to
big
Real
of a step
Madrid,
up.
you talk about player power, right? He goes Real Madrid, he's out of the door before Christmas. That's a fact. That's a fact. Because he was at Sassuolo when he was in Italy, right? It's another club a bit like Brighton. You know, they run pretty well, stable European football every single year. He did a decent job with them, but then with that, everyone's still talking about. But look at the football he'll be playing. They'll have better players. The quality will be there. The man won't be able to deal with the culture. He's just an Italian version of Brendan Rodgers and Graham Potter. That's what he is. You ask him to make that step up to a massive club, he won't be able to do it. If he could do it, I think if he went back to Italy and went to an AC Milan, an Inter, a Juve, and got them ticking over and doing well in Europe and, you know, solid domestically, that's when you can turn around and go, okay, you managed a club with heritage and culture and history. Maybe they're not what they used to be, but you know how to deal with that heritage and culture. Okay, now you can have a crack at that job. But until then, it's not worth it. But everyone loves a flavour of the month. No one looks at consistent.
No, you're 100% spot on, bro. You're 100% spot on. I do believe he's in that hipster bracket, and that's why, bro. Like I saw right through Nagelsmann when everyone was doing this Nagelsmann thing when he was talking about, we need to have players mic'd up like the NFL. I was like, bruv, listen, you're doing way too much here. You know what I'm saying? You're doing way too much here, and I think that's a symptom of modern coaching. Anyway, I think these men are doing way too much. And that's why, I think that's also why the players aren't as good now as they used to be because they're coached too much.
Yeah. Well, I think there's no specialist anymore. And if there is a specialist, it doesn't fit modern football.
Yeah, they're coached too much. It's almost like in modern football right now, you kind of have to be a blank canvas for these hipster managers to do whatever they want with you. Pause, like, because that's what it is now.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're just, bro. It's like you just. If you want to have a good career now, you just need to be a Mason Mount. Do you know what I mean? Just run a lot and just make sure that you got 6 or 7 out of 10 across the board, and that'll do. They'll find somewhere to fit you in, bro. Like,
but this is it. The problem is, like, we talk. There's no entertainers in the Premier League anymore, or that. Well, at least I didn't think there was. Then, you know, I think for me at Chelsea, I think there's 2 players that get me up off my seat now, like
Cole Palmer.
And I'm just not gonna. I like, even though, you know, he's still finding his feet. I do get excited when Mudhryk gets on the ball. You know, he's got that pace and he's exciting.
He's got that unpredictability and he's quick. Yeah, that's why.
That's what I mean? Yeah, exactly. You know, that's why I really like. That's why I really like him. You know, I think it's those sort of players that you do have them still, but some of them will get coached out. You know, I was worried Cole Palmer was going to come in, and if we were having a poor run, it's going to impact him. You know, but he's coming in and done well. And there's still dickheads talking about João Felix. Mate, look at Cole Palmer. He's a player we wanted João Felix to be. He's they wanted Kai Havertz to be. Kai Havertz is off playing left back now, and he's still shit.
No,
Arsenal fans sitting there going,
the Havertz shout.
Oh, Facts. Mate. Havertz sitting there and going, so, yeah, I think he's really good. He's great at linking up play. Maybe we should play him centre forward. Okay, that's the second. You've got the 7 stages of grief. 7 stages of grief with Havertz, right? First stage, you sign him. You got a fantastic young player, loads of potential, looks great, cool. Second stage, you put him in midfield. That's where he was signed. Oh, maybe he's not quite right there. We'll see what's going on. He's still come good though. Third stage is that he'll still come good. Fourth stage is he goes, links it up from number 10, plays as a centre forward for a few games, and I tell you what, he links up, doesn't he? Yeah, maybe that's his position. That's stage 5. Stage 6. Oh, he's not great there. Where does he actually play? Stage 7, you sell him for £65 million to a rival downtown who then has the same problem with him, and then all their fans are going to love him and hate him. You're sitting there, and it's like,
bro. And then man's asked to play left wing back here with Nagelsmann, and this is what I mean about Nagelsmann. These hipsters, like, what about Kai Havertz at left wing back here? Would you think would work? Like, do you know what I'm saying? The guy is not a defender. He ain't got mad pace. Like, it's weird. Do you know
Someone
what I'm
tried
saying?
comparing to Marcus Alonso. Someone said he's like, you know, he's got the ability. He's like Marcus Alonso. You know, he's a danger in the box. You know, he's got the athleticism to play wing back. I'm like, have you seen that man run? Rants. I'm saying this with my chest, right? if me and Kai Havertz were to run from in midfield, right, and we were running, I was attacking, and he was like supposed to be tracking me, I could outrun Kai Havertz. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that, and I barely move. I am a shit
Yeah.
Jorginho. That's how
But
I
brother,
play. In the level.
I remember though. I remember when Chelsea fans were telling me he had pace. I was thinking, where, bro?
I mean, he had that like split second where because he had long legs. 3 seconds, he'd have that little bit of acceleration, but then the pace goes because he's like, actually, you know what, mate? I can't be bothered.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and he's on even more money now at Arsenal. It's crazy.
I know. But if you like lazy, if you like Dimitar Berbatov and you like Dennis Bergkamp, you love Kai Havertz. Do I fuck? Because you know what they both did, right? Dennis Bergkamp scored goals, got you off your seat, right? Dimitar Berbatov, as lazy as he was, he still scored 30 goals a season. Kai Havertz couldn't. You put Kai Havertz.
The thing is, you can be a nonchalant player, yeah, when you're good. Do you know what I'm saying? But you can't be lazy and rubbish. Like, you can't be. Like, that doesn't make no sense. How can you be nonchalant like that and you're not good, bro? That's what I don't understand. This guy was a star boy. Like, when you lot signed him, he was meant to come in and have a big impact.
Yeah. But it turns out,
you
see Frank Lampard on Monday Night Football. Like, Kai Havertz wasn't even a Frank Lampard signing. He didn't want him. He didn't want him. So it was, I think, literally, so I think Timo Werner was another one who was, I'm gutted never works. I thought Timo Werner, I love Timo Werner. Kai Havertz wasn't. Ziyech wasn't. You know, that window, he only wanted to sign 3 or 4 players. Like, they wasn't looking for like loads of players. But then, do you remember, we had the conversations then in lockdown. We do a stream. I said, we've signed too many players. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, but you have you had a recruitment team at the time, so
we had, it was literally, you had, was it Petr Cech and Marina Granovskaya, and Marina Granovskaya was like, this guy's an up and coming talent, there you go. And then obviously the Frank Lampard's job was to fit him in.
So they made the signings those were club signings for the future of the club.
Yeah, but then it was obviously, then you got Frank Lampard just sort of fit him in when he kind of was starting to like that. Look, granted, I think you look back now, maybe Frank Lampard wasn't or isn't a great manager, right? Yeah. But that's
a safe assumption, Louis. I don't even think that is that's not really a risky one.
In that first period at Chelsea, I think, you know, considering where we were and the problems we had, and he got the team playing well, he had a foundation to build on, and he didn't build. I say he didn't get given the opportunity. He wasn't sure what to do because he was a young manager. So, you know, it happens. But, you know, realistically, look, Chelsea now, we seem to be in a bit more of a stable state. Touch wood. You know, there seems to be more stuff going our way. We are, despite spending 800 million, not the billion, by the way, because that's not true. Let's put that on. It's lazy reporting again. Still can't believe I'm saying it's only 800 million. 800 million in 3 windows. We are, I'd say, a goalkeeper and a centre forward short. That's it. I think
your goalkeeper's not it. You're right. I'm not a fan of Sanchez. I think he's got moments, but every goalkeeper's got moments. Do you know what I mean?
I'm more of a fan of Sanchez than I was a Kepa. Do you know why?
Oh, but that's not hard though.
He's got arms. It's amazing. I actually cried when he made a save. It was like watching a goalkeeper come on his box and just catch the ball. I was like, I actually wanted to cry. You know, I think he you know, again, that's another position. I don't think there's very many, you know, ready-made big names that can fill that straight away. We need that, and we need a centre forward that's not, you know, well, a centre forward that has pubic hair. I think is the best way to describe it, considering all of our players are under 12. So, you know, I'd quite like to see. I'd like to see Ivan Toney, but I understand the logic behind them saying they don't want him as much if he doesn't want the Chelsea move.
I think he wants the Chelsea move. Like I think it's nonsense that he doesn't want the Chelsea.
I mean, he wants the move, doesn't he? He wants to go out.
Listen, Ivan Toney wants to go to Chelsea just as much he wants to go to Arsenal. Ivan Toney wants to play for a big club. I don't believe for a second that he doesn't want the Chelsea move.
No,
I don't believe that for the simple fact that he knows that he's too good for Brentford, innit? And he also knows that when he looks at his age and he looks at the market, with all due respect to him, and he's a player that I rate very highly. He ain't the guy that can just dictate where he goes. Like he's
No.
not, because you also need to find a club that are willing to pay what your club are going to ask for, and your club are going to ask for 70 million plus, and Arsenal are not paying that for you. They're not. When they've got Gabriel Jesus, when they've got Saka, when they've got Trossard, when they've got Martinelli, they've got four. They've already got 4 attackers, yeah, and Arsenal's front three picks itself. If they sign Ivan Toney, they're dropping Martinelli Martinelli, because he's not going to drop Jesus and he's not going to drop
Wouldn't he?
Saka.
I think he
No,
dropped. I think he
bruv.
dropped Jesus.
He was with Jesus at Man City. There's more chance that Martinelli gets dropped than Jesus, and Jesus plays out wide.
For me, really, I think that'd be stupid if they did
And
that.
Nketiah's on 100 grand a week. He just signed a new deal and got the number 14. So
Realistic, I think I'd say he's stupid. Mikel Arteta is stupid. Still banging on about how he's going to talk about free. I'm going to talk free about the referees. Guys, come on. Rub your hands together. Close your eyes. We're going to win these. Shut up. He looks like Captain Smollett. Do you remember Captain Smollett? Yeah, he looks like a Thunderbird puppet. He doesn't move.
He does.
He is my worst idea of a client, because I'll go to cut his hair and that shit won't move. I've got, it's fine hair. There's a lot of it. You can move it. You can clearly see where you need to cut. Get the line sorted. It's all good. It's very easy. I don't need a haircut at the minute, but it's there. You get it fine. Here's, you bring it up. I'd cut my fingers constantly because it just won't move. I reckon you slap him and it'd spin off like a Lego head. It'd be like
bro, you're mad. You are actually mad. But the Toney thing is very interesting. I think he ends up at Chelsea.
He's. I think the other reason he might do well. Well, they might do it is we talk about link-up play and everything. He does that. Ivan Toney's fantastic at link-up play, and he scores the goals.
Exactly.
If he's scoring goals as well as getting the link-up play, I'll be looking at Arsenal. I'll be going, oh, do you know what? We do need that.
Yeah, because I think he's the most well-rounded forward that's actually available. Do you know what I'm saying? Because people always talk about we should sign XYZ. Are they available? This guy is openly available. He already lives in London. Like it's an easy deal to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Just pay the money, you get the player. There's no
Ivan Toney, right? Rule. You're out with your mates, right? You're at prison or Pop World or wherever you go, right? He's the one that's available just before 3 a.m. when they turn the lights on. He's not that 3 a.m. slot. He's not like signing, I don't know, Ricky Lambert. But it's like, he's like that 1:30, 2 o'clock. There's still some good ones out there. You get it going, you start popping shapes. Maybe you're like me, you're in the cheese room. ABBA comes on, voulez-vous, you just give it. They love it. Boom. Sorted. Taken back. Turn the lights on in the morning and be like, it's all right.
Nah, but it's not.
It's the upper end. It's just the 7.5s. It's that bracket. 7.5s pushing an 8.
Yep.
That's
pushing an 8. Nah, I'd say Ivan Toney, as a striker, ain't a 7.5. He's not. Do you know what I'm saying? As a striker, that's an 8. That's an 8 as a striker.
He's that one where it's the
that's
debate.
An 8.5. If you go home with an 8, you've had a sensational evening.
Mate, I only go back with 10s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
I go back with 10s. Or I don't go
what? The number 10 from KFC or something? Man said 10s. Oh, bruv, man going home with 10s.
Mate,
bro,
listen. I go back with 10s or I create it. I am a number. I go back with a 10. That's what it is. That's how I play my game.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. Listen, if you leave with an 8, you've had a great night.
Mate, it's what it is. What it is, But that's why I don't go prison. That is. I head out.
So there ain't no 8s in prison.
There ain't no 8s in prison.
Prison full of
prism's where you go on loan. Prism's where you go if you need, you need to pick me up. You head down to the Championship, score goals, head back out. Boom. Mayfair, Soho. Or
it's thing, bro. I'll be real. That's what it's an absolute mazzoline, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like if you get an 8 on a night out, you've had an absolute blinder. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? So for
you have,
me,
you have.
I'm taking an 8 out of 10 striker in this market all day in this market, guys. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think Ivan Toney's an 8.5 in this market because the market is poor. Do you know what I'm saying? And scarcity creates value. When you look at this market, there's not many top level, yeah, because he's a top level Premier League striker. Like this is a player that you expect to be competing for the Golden Boot, playing for Brentford. So if he can compete for the Golden Boot, playing for Brentford, you've signed a top level Premier League striker, and we've seen teams do it a lot. We signed Dwight York from Aston Villa, done well. We signed Teddy Sheringham. We signed Teddy Sheringham from Spurs. We signed Louis Saha from Fulham. Like, bro, we signed Berbatov from
No,
Tottenham.
but Rants,
Signing strikers from Premier League teams is not a gamble, bruv.
no, but me and you know that because we understand football. But unfortunately, most people on Twitter sit there and go, "Oh well, Victor Osimhen scored 35 goals. The next year, 64." How about you shut the fuck up, all right, and just let us just do our thing. You know, I'm looking at this now and I'm going, I appreciate that everyone wants to get a fancy player which looks great and it's from a lavish place. If I had to go to Hounslow to get a decent centre forward, I will. That's what. Sometimes you've got to do it. You've got to go to Hounslow. Not everyone wants to do it. I appreciate that. You don't want to go to Hounslow, but guess what? There's some decent things in Hounslow.
Nah, a lot of people don't want to go Hounslow. I'll be real,
Exactly.
but you know what it is? The game is the game, bro. And this is it. Andy Cole from Newcastle. We can keep going, yeah. Like it's one of them things where Premier League proven is a very, very, very real thing.
Yeah.
It's a very real thing. So you have to take that in consideration, yeah. Obviously, a lot of the time you pay a premium with the Premier League, but now, to be completely honest, pricing's crazy everywhere. Like Osherman's costing over 100 mil for a player that you can't guarantee is going to be a hit at Chelsea. And because you don't have a lot of creative players, and he's a striker that very much relies on chances being created for him, and he's not a creator himself, stylistically, I don't even believe he makes sense at Chelsea.
I mean, we aren't terrible creatively now. Like we're scoring more. Well, sorry, we're getting more opportunities.
But do you create the kind of chances that he would thrive on, though? Like he's
I think we do. I think we do. Our XG is fantastic. So I think we do create opportunities. Palmer is such a big player. And why you'd be skeptical, I get that. But that's why I'd want to go Premier League proven. That's why I want to get Ivan Toney. Because in Ivan Toney, you're not solely relying on Cole Palmer to create everything. Because Ivan Toney can bring people into play. Well, Victor Osimhen could as well. But then the thing is, he's 24. You've got to train that. And I get you paying, people are worried about paying 70, 80, 100 million for a 28-year-old. I get that.
Yeah, but when did this age start to become a problem? This is what I don't understand. We signed Robin Van Persie at 29, I believe. Like, bro, like, when guys are finishers, if they're 28, 29 years old, yeah, and they're scoring goals, then one thing you're going to get from these players, one thing you're going to get from these players at that age is consistency. And that's worth the money. That's worth the money. I would rather pay, £80 million for a 28-year-old striker than pay £80 million for a 22-year-old striker. Because, bro, these youths are not consistent. You can't rely on them. Now, you actually can't rely on these guys. And the thing is, people are talking about Chelsea, for instance, struggling against low blocks. Osimhen in a low block. Allow it, bro. I'd rather have a better all-round player, in a low block, against a low block, than have a poacher against a low block. Because man's out here looking like Romelu Lukaku for real, bro. Lukaku against a low block is useless, bro. He's a lump. Hey, Louis, we got you back.
I wanna.
You're here. You're here. I can hear you.
I know the internet's moving like Lukaku. Shit.
It's fine. We're gonna wrap up shortly anyway. But yeah, for me, Osimhen against low blocks doesn't make sense. Go and get the Premier League proven striker.
This is it. You want someone who knows exactly how to deal with those situations. So I'm not looking. That's exactly what I want. And again, this Chelsea team doesn't need another young player. It needs somebody who is ready. Now, I want somebody. Ivan Toney, as a proven Premier League centre forward, he's going to come into that side and he'll have the arrogance, sort of, that what a good centre forward does. But also, he'll look at Jackson, who's 22, 23, and be like, "Look, mate, you ain't finishing these. I'm going to come and take your spot. But I tell you what, if you stick with me and you learn, you can try and take it off me. How about that?"
Yep.
And it's that competition for places. And then also, we've still got to fit for Christopher Nkunku into this team. That's another thing. I know I'm talking. We need to sign a centre forward. We still need to fit Christopher Nkunku into this Chelsea team.
Yeah, but
which
you
is
never
nuts.
know with Pochettino, bro. You might see him playing out wide as well, because Poch does like to play. He does like to play. What do you call it? He likes to play tens out wide. Poch loves that.
Yeah. Which I think we could see, because I don't think I think Noddy Madueke needs a loan.
Yeah,
I really do.
He's not ready.
He was linked.
He's not ready.
No, he was linked with Palace, which I think would be a really good move for him. I think him at Palace, he fits in there. He's a very saucy player, but he's a saucy player that needs to learn how to make that final pass.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel when I watch him play. I don't know. He seems very frustrating to me. Very unpredictable. Very hot and cold. I don't know if he's gonna make it. I'll be honest. Him and Mudhryk, I don't know if they're gonna make it, bruv. Mudhryk, I think, has probably a better chance than Madueke. I don't know.
I think
look at Madueke,
Mudhryk.
I don't know. He might as well just be at Crystal Palace already, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just what it is,
Mudhryk.
bro. Mandem FC, bro. Just join Crystal Palace now, innit, and just get it out of your system.
Yeah, I mean, Mudhryk, I think, will whether he'll be an elite winger, I don't know. Will he be a very, very solid Premier League winger for us? Absolutely. I do think he will be. But yeah, Noni Madueke, I think a lot of people are looking at him after last year when everyone else wasn't performing, and he was doing all right. He was doing the bare minimum and doing what everyone else wasn't, and everyone was loving it. And I'm like, that's great. It's like I saw him. He was the England under-21s. He did an unbelievable skill move, and I was like, looks great, fantastic. I was like, my word, fucking love that. But then guess what? He does skill move, go around someone, gets off his seat, doesn't find the final ball. It was the same at Brentford. He had Aaron Hickey on the ropes for the entirety of that first half. He was all over him. But then, for some reason, after he hits the bar from making something out of nothing, he then just starts doing what Willian used to do, which is gets to the edge of the box, pass backwards. It's like, lads, I like the source. I think that's there, but he needs to do more. Mudhryk, you can see, look, you know me. I'm a passion merchant, and I like someone who works his socks off.
Yeah, he's direct and he's quick, man. You're in love with Mudhryk the way some of these Man United fans are in love with Garnacho, but it's gonna end the same way. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's quick and he's direct, and then when you realize that he's a gimmick, you'll give up on him. It will happen, trust me.
Yeah. I miss Timo Werner. I feel like Timo Werner last year and this year, he'd have been so good for us. He wasn't going to be a centre forward.
With Pochettino, I think Pochettino would have definitely got something out of him.
Yeah. No, here's what it is now.
Would have got something out of him. But, yeah. The game is the game. Do you know what I mean? Big up everyone inside. Smash up the like button. The link to Louis' channel is in the title. Make sure you subscribe there. You already know what it is. I'm doing the Man City Liverpool game tomorrow, so we're back. I think that's the early kickoff, like 12:30. Is it 12:30? So
I believe so.
Yeah, so we're back. We're back for that game. Do you know what I mean? The real El Clasico and that. So we're gonna be watching that. I think Liverpool are getting something tomorrow. So it's gonna be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. Don't get me wrong. I'd love City to turn up and turn them over, but I don't see it happening. So, yeah, we'll be back there. You got anything coming up, bro?
Yeah, so I've been... so as much... I saw someone mention earlier I don't upload. I appreciate that. I've basically... So we've got working on something for the past couple of months. I actually got a podcast, part of a network now. So if you want to listen to some Chelsea news and just three people talking shit. People compare us to the Peter Crouch podcast in terms of how stupid we are, but talking about Chelsea, it's called the Chelsea Echo, all good podcasting platforms, and hopefully we'll be looking to bring that to AV soon as well. Yeah, that's just if people want to go find that, it's in my Twitter, the Chelsea Echo's there, and we do all that sort of stuff. And yeah, if you want a trim as well on a Tuesday, head to Urban Rooted Angel, because that's where you can find me.
There you
Just drop
go.
me a line,
You know
all
what I'm
that
saying?
sort of stuff.
Out here, do you know what I'm saying? Dishing out fades, blood. You know what I'm saying? So big up Louis, man. Big up you lot in the chat as well. Do you know what I mean? Friday night. And yeah, bruv, like back again tomorrow, early doors, for the first installment of Soccer Saturday, people. So big up, and I'll catch you guys